Hello and welcome. I'm Leslie Liao with news from around Taiwan and the world, in case you missed it. Ties between Taiwan and Lithuania are growing. The warming relations made headlines in Taiwan, but does Lithuania feel the same way? I spoke with two Taiwanese people living in Vilnius to get a first-hand impression. Taiwan and Lithuania have been growing closer since 2020, when both countries committed to establishing representative offices in each other's territory. But for Lala Yo and Julie Zhu, two Taiwanese women living in Lithuania, bridging the gap between the two partners began long before that.
My husband is a Lithuanian, so I met him more than 10 years ago back in Taiwan. We were ex-colleagues. And after we got married, we have the first baby. He decided that Lithuania is the better place to live and for longer term, so we moved back here.
I met my Lithuanian partner back in 2017. And eventually I found a job here and I decided to move here. A year turned into 2 and I stayed on till now. It's been 5 years.
Lila and Julie experienced firsthand the effects of Taiwan's growing ties with Lithuania, and they've noticed changes in how the two countries perceive each other.
There's definitely better awareness now about Taiwan, and I think vice versa in Taiwan as well. Like, we hear more about each other. In general, they got to think about, the similarities perhaps in our history, in our political situation with our neighbors, and things like that.
The two say news about Taiwan is important to Lithuanians.
Recently, this semiconductor production corporation, I see it's really big news because for general public, they were waiting for that. They know, okay, why we are pissing China off and what can we get? So this news comes up and I see that people are reacting, yes, it's good and it's the right thing to do.
Both women are optimistic about Taiwan and Lithuania's relationship moving forward.
I think it will just be better, and also I believe that Lithuania is just the first country in Europe doing that. Now you can see like Latvia, Estonia, and also other European countries, they do that. So I think it will just get better.
It's sort of taking off in a good way. And of course I'm happy to see it go well as a lasting and mutually beneficial, let's say, friendship as such.
Lila recently received permanent residency in Lithuania, a process that required her to learn the local language. Julie is pursuing a PhD in Vilnius and often interacts with Lithuanian people. Their positive experiences as Taiwanese in Lithuania show just how close the two countries have become. Also in Lithuania, a chain of stores has been fostering love for a uniquely Taiwanese treat. Taiwan and Lithuania are over 8,000 kilometers apart, and while ties between the two countries are improving, they're still in early development. So you don't expect to see many Taiwanese things in Lithuania and vice versa. But not 50 meters from the hotel we're staying at, TaiwanPlus was greeted with a very familiar sight, Formosa Tea, a place that serves, you guessed it, Taiwan's national drink, bubble tea. Formosa Tea opened its first store in 2016 in Lithuania's capital, Vilnius. Since then, it's expanded to over a dozen stores in 5 cities. Owners Avidas and Jeffrey met while studying in the United States.
I said, Jeffrey, why don't you come to Lithuania and we do bubble tea, because it's very popular in America, it's popular in the United Kingdom, in some other European countries, and there is none in Lithuania, so let's do it.
Jeffrey is the Taiwanese know-how behind the operation. When Formosa Tea first started, he insisted on bringing customers an authentic Taiwanese experience. The store imported both equipment and ingredients from Taiwan, but the product still needed to be adjusted to meet Lithuanian tastes.
刚开始我们想要就是提供比较 authentic 那种很原味的台湾味给当地客人，但是就是做了一段时间，发现有部分客人能接受，但绝大部分还是有他们自己 prefer 的口味。
One change they made was introducing alternatives to traditional tapioca pearls. Locals found their chewiness a little strange at first. Formosa Tea adapted to its surroundings and won over Lithuanian hearts and minds.
I like the flavors. It's nice, nice and sweet.
I already know what it is. I liked it last time, so I just bought. Now we have loyalty card and come and here very often.
And for Taiwanese living in Lithuania like Lila Yo, Formosa Tea is a great way to share their culture with local colleagues and friends.
So if people want to know what do you have, what kind of Taiwanese people eat, is it same like Chinese or something, I usually will say, do you know about bubble tea? That's from Taiwan. That's the classic thing we have. And there's a shop called Formosa, that's from Taiwan.
Bubble tea has made it big in Lithuania, though with a few tweaks to cater to local taste buds. But judging by how many Formosa tea stores there are in the country, it's doing a good job. And for travelers like me who need a regular dose of bubble tea, it sure hits the spot. Leon Lien and Leslie Liao in Vilnius, Lithuania for TaiwanPlus News. When you think of a pageant, you may think of talent shows and flashy outfits. But winning the Miss Taiwanese American crown means acting as a cultural ambassador for Taiwan in the U.S. Not every 19-year-old gets the opportunity to shake hands and greet a head of state. But for Tiffany Chang, it was one of her duties as Miss Taiwanese American 2022.
My name is Tiffany Chang, Zhang Fangyu, and I currently attend Stanford University, majoring in management science and engineering. And this past year, I served as the Miss Taiwanese American Queen of 2022.
Tiffany has lived in Los Angeles her entire life. But because of her upbringing, she's very in touch with her Taiwanese roots, including speaking Taiwanese Hokkien, commonly known as Taiwanese.
So growing up, I always spoke Taiwanese with my grandma, my grandparents, and I was very just in touch with my Taiwanese heritage.
Being crowned Miss Taiwanese American helped Tiffany gain a deeper appreciation for her background.
We were in the Huntington Beach parade, seeing a lot of people on the side like cheering for us and being like, oh, go Taiwan, like stay safe. That was really a testament to, how far we've come.
Every year, the Taiwan Center Foundation of Greater Los Angeles puts on a pageant to select the next Miss Taiwanese American. The winner of the competition is expected to act as an ambassador for Taiwanese culture throughout the year of their tenure. The selection process is rigorous.
In my year, there were 10 finalists, and so after that, you go through a 7 to 8 week training period, training both on Saturday and Sunday for about 6 to 8 hours. So throughout those 7 to 8 weeks, about, of course, not only the normal things you would think about when you hear pageant, like catwalk, makeup lessons, but most importantly, Taiwanese culture. You get history lessons and cultural lessons as well.
And in her bid to become Miss Taiwanese American, Tiffany built a robot which used infrared and AI technology to do a catwalk alongside her. But Tiffany's real responsibilities started only after she won the crown.
My favorite event by far was when President Tsai came to visit Los Angeles, and I was able to not only meet her, but of course be the MC for her presidential banquet. And so that was a really once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
At a young age, Tiffany took it upon herself to represent Taiwan, a country she wasn't even born in, but has come to appreciate and love because of her heritage. Programs like the Miss Taiwanese American pageant help American-born Taiwanese not only learn more about their roots, but also give them a chance to act as a bridge between the two sides. Lee Sun and Leslie Liao in Burlingame, California for TaiwanPlus. India's border tensions with China have allowed Taiwan to take over as India's main partner for learning Mandarin. But Beijing's messy withdrawal has created problems Taipei is struggling to solve. Stash Butler went to India to find out more.
Cutting Chinese characters from paper in his New Delhi classroom, Agastya Bose is learning Mandarin the hands-on way. Study of the language in India has suffered ever since border tensions with China boiled over 3 years ago. But with help from his Taiwanese teacher and the app Duolingo, Agastya says he's found a passion.
I picked up a little from Duolingo and I really enjoyed it, but then Duolingo crashed and I couldn't use it for some reason, so I decided to learn Chinese as third language. I enjoy it a lot.
Agastya's school is at the center of a countrywide transition. As Chinese companies and learning institutes have pulled out of India, Taiwan has moved in, offering teachers and resources to schools like this one. Facing diplomatic isolation because of China's claim over its territory, Taiwan is using soft power tactics like these to build ties with a global power. About 65 students at Bluebell's School International learn Mandarin either through textbook or hands-on activities. They're one of only 2 schools in New Delhi to be taught by a native Mandarin speaker from Taiwan.
Sounds good.
That number does not include private teachers from Taiwan, like Nancy Xiao, who runs the Meiyu Chinese Language Center in the north of Delhi. China's withdrawal has allowed her to start using Taiwanese textbooks and offer Taiwan-certified tests. But with fewer companies in India looking for Mandarin ability, demand for her lessons has collapsed.
Now it's like online, offline together will be like 50 or 60 students now. It's pretty less, like 3 times lesser than before the offline, before the pandemic.
At Bluebell's, students face a different challenge. India has dropped Mandarin from the secondary school national curriculum, meaning students here won't get a qualification when they graduate, a concern for Taiwanese firms which rely on locals fluent in Mandarin to do business.
Without this in between, it's very hard for our people to come to India in large numbers.
It's a sign of the mixed opportunities India's tensions with China have brought. Taiwan has seized the opening to fund Mandarin teaching and build cultural ties. But Beijing's withdrawal has disrupted learning for all students, both in public schools and private, and Taiwan faces a tough task putting together the pieces for its language and trade to thrive. Leon Lien, Siobhan Powell and Stash Butler in New Delhi for TaiwanPlus.
Fans of Western classical opera in East Asia can now go to Thailand to get their fix. Joyce Zeng meets a Taiwan-born opera singer who's been coaching talent in Bangkok to become world-class vocalists.
Hearing this, you'd think you're in Vienna or Milan. But these singers are in fact in Bangkok, Thailand, at Heavenly Voice Nancy's studio, run by Taiwanese-born American vocalist Nancy Ping Wei. She's been teaching classical voice for almost 30 years at one of Asia's premier music schools, Mahidol's College of Music, about an hour from Thailand's capital. Her students have gone on to perform in Austria, Japan, France, the US, and Italy, just to name a few places. Nancy was born and raised in Taiwan's central Nantou County, at a time she says when classical music wasn't super popular.
I grew up in central Taiwan, and during that time, it's in school, if you ask around, not many really study pursuing in classical music. I learned singing from my father. In the car, every driving trip, we was singing through from the first minute until we arrived at destination.
After completing her bachelor's and master's degrees in the US, Nancy moved to Thailand with her husband. That's where she found her calling, teaching classical voice.
This responsibility suddenly hit me. I have to do well. Many young singers are in my hand.
Nancy also came to realize that the Thai language actually gave her students a special advantage in learning classical Western opera.
The vowels can go above the letters, below, on the right, on the left. And so this interesting sound of Thai language make it very easy to teach German, French, Italian, English.
Nancy's protégés, like these university students, hope to perform on stages around the world one day, and perhaps even teach students of their own. And nothing would make Nancy prouder than to see her students achieving their dreams and sharing their heavenly voices. Alex Chen and Joyce Zhen in Bangkok for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching. In case you missed it, I'm Leslie Liao. Take care and see you next time.